everyone, my name's Allie and welcome back to my channel, Mindful Living. In today's video, I wanted to show you guys how my herbs have been growing into the fall season. I grew these all summer long and they continue to grow into the fall. It is now November and I am doing a final harvest of my herbs for the season before the snow hits. And I also wanted to share a really simple and easy way that you can dry your own herbs at home. So make sure to stick around to the end of the video to see that. I'll be showing how to dry parsley, rosemary, and oregano. Okay, let's get started with showing you guys how these grew. Okay, so this footage here is from the beginning of spring. I planted basil, parsley, dill, rosemary, and oregano in my container garden this year. All of these herbs are extremely easy to grow, and I definitely recommend any new gardeners out there to start with herbs because they're definitely something that is easy to grow, and you'll find that herbs are very high producing as well. You're going to get multiple harvests off your plant, and like I said, I am doing the final harvest for my rosemary, oregano, and parsley, which is surprisingly done super well into the cooler months here. It's November and I'm harvesting the last of the season before it starts to snow and the plants completely freeze. So make sure to harvest all of your plants at the end of the season because you can dry them, you can freeze them in your freezer, tons of things to do with them. So make sure you don't leave them and let them die. You definitely want to do one last harvest before it gets too cold. Okay, so now that you guys have seen how these grew throughout the spring and summer into the fall, just gonna show you guys a quick little harvest here. And I'm really excited to go ahead and dry these herbs this year. This will be my first time drying herbs. I know there's a few different techniques, so do whichever you prefer. I've decided to simply hang and air dry my herbs this time. But like I said, do whatever technique is easiest for you. The other methods I have seen with drying herbs is you can use a dehydrator, you can use an oven if you put it on the lowest setting possible, or like I said, you can simply hang them upside down and air dry them. So here is the full harvest that I got today. My bowl is quite literally exploding with herbs and lots of fresh goodness. So let's go ahead and start the drying process. There's only a couple things you're going to need today, which is just some string or twine, and I'm going to be using a clothes hanger to hang my herbs off of. You can pretty much hang them anywhere you like, just make sure it is a cool, dry place without any direct sunlight. Before I start the drying process, I like to thoroughly wash and soak all of my herbs. They have been growing outside, and while it is organic, I still like to wash all of my produce. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that for the oregano, parsley, and rosemary. Afterwards, you can use a salad spinner or a tea towel to just pat the herbs dry. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and grab the end of my oregano here. You can feel free to remove a few of the leaves to make it easier to tie up. So I've just gone ahead and wrapped the string around the top here a few times. I tied a couple knots. You want to make sure to do this as tight as possible so when the herbs start to dry, they don't fall out. Then I've just gone and attached another piece of string with a long end on it so I'm able to wrap that around my clothes hanger and leave it to dry upside down. So go ahead and repeat this process again for as many herbs as you'd like to dry. And then we're just going to leave those hanging upside down for a couple days, and before you know it, they're going to look something like this. From there, I am just simply pulling the leaves off of the stems here. We're not going to be using the stem, so just go ahead and start pulling the leaves off. You'll find they come off super easy. Once I have removed all the leaves from the stem, I just give it a little bit of a rough chop. You can also use your fingers if you prefer to just crumble the herbs to make them a little bit smaller. From there, I'm just going to transfer my dried herbs into an airtight container. This is just a little spice container here, but use whatever you have on hand. And there you have it, simple and easy dried oregano. I'm just gonna go ahead and repeat the same process for the rosemary and the parsley and put both of those into spice containers as well. I couldn't believe how simple and easy it is to dry my own herbs. It makes me wonder why I didn't start doing this years ago. You can also feel free to freeze some of your herbs in olive oil in the freezer. You can use an ice cube tray to do that, and that's another great way to preserve your herbs and make sure that nothing goes to waste. And I have to say that the herbs that I've dried today are so fragrant and definitely a lot stronger smelling than any that I've bought in the grocery store. I hope if you guys enjoyed this video today and enjoyed this recipe, that you will hit the like button, leave me a comment down below, and let me know if you're going to try drying your own herbs. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the red subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in my next one.